From the huge studios, WRXK, Bonita Springs, Naples, Fort Myers, a Beasley Broadcast Group station, 96K-Rock, and 96krock.com. Talk that rocks.
The following views and opinions expressed are those of the participants, and not necessarily those of 96K-Rock and the Beasley Broadcast Group.
You stupid, ignorant son of a bitch, dumb bastard! I've met some dumb bastards in my time, but you outdo them all. Get over there!
This is the Keith Hanson Show. No holds barred.
There's always a confused soul that thinks one man can make a difference, and you have to kill him to convince him otherwise.
Telling it like it is, whatever it costs.
Isn't this an indictment of our entire American society? You can do what you want to us. But we're not going to sit here and listen to you bad-mouth the United States of America. Gentlemen!
The Keith Hanson Show, featuring Smitty.
Hey, listen to this fascist gas bag.
On 96K-Rock.
And good morning and welcome to the Keith Hanson Show. All of you red-blooded Americans, blue-blooded liberal state transplants, friends, sympathizers, people who agree, people who disagree. I am your host, Keith Hanson, armed heavily as always and on the air broadcasting from 96K-Rock Studios in beautiful Estero, Florida, and being streamed across this great nation, across the fruited plain, and around the globe at keithontheair.com.
Welcome, Republicans, Democrats, Independents, Progressives, and yes, even you, Rick Scott. Welcome to the Keith Hanson Show with Smitty. The lines are now open, 239-277-9600 or 775-9600. If you have an intelligent thought you would like to share with us during this dissertation of hot topics, give us a call if you dare. Special thanks to our in-studio producer, Sick Rick, who's sitting behind here taking a good old time, and Andy.
Why do you pick on Rick? He has this stymied look on his face. You know how hard Rick works?
He takes pot shots at me all day long. That was the only freebie I get from him.
Okay.
But Tripod Billy, our thoughts and prayers for him. His dad's in hospital today, and he's not with us. We have a stand-in today. Also, a good friend of ours, Adam. Adam's back there waving his hand. I hope that's not his middle finger, but he's good. So we're all ready to go here.
But he's drinking out of a red Solo cup,
right? So
that means only one thing.
That's right.
It must be party time at K-Rock Studios.
And of course, we want to welcome our new sponsor, Mickelson's Pastry Shop. Paul and Elizabeth, they're on Business Avenue in Naples. The best gourmet pastries and confectionaries, cupcakes, torts, cakes, birthdays, weddings, any other occasion that you want to make extra special with delicious and custom-baked to-order pastries. You rave about them.
I rave. Actually, Paul and Elizabeth, and this is a nice mom-and-pop shop, folks, and we definitely recommend. We don't recommend, but listen, we ask you to do business with small mom-and-pop shops, because when you do business with small mom-and-pop family businesses, you are not helping to buy a third vacation home for a corporate CEO. You're helping to put a uniform on a little girl for her dance recital. You're helping a mom and dad to pay a mortgage or to put food on the table. And this is a great family business, folks, and I'll tell you, they are absolutely fantastic. They actually sent a care package, but unfortunately, they didn't last last night. So
what are you telling me?
I ate them all.
Oh, just flat out admit it.
Flat out admit it. Well, I had some help. I had some help from my Sunday.
Well, somebody opened the box for you?
Yes, yeah.
That was a lot of help there.
Well, I wasn't really interested in etiquette and decorum and getting the box open. I just wanted the contents thereof. So
usually you're pretty jacked up. So I'm assuming that you ate them last night.
I did. Okay. Yeah. I'm actually trying. I was so unbelievably high on caffeine last week. You have no idea.
That's hard to believe.
Yeah, me. So anyway, I'm on my first Circle K Polar Pop this morning. So
well, if you want to try a new pastry, try Mickelson's Pastry Shop. They're down there on a business lane.
Business lane. Hard to find, but worth the hunt.
Yeah, there you go.
And our live streaming HD video is brought to you by Doggone Sauces, and we will be actually over the course of the next 2 hours, we will be giving away 2 gift certificates to both Mickelson's Pastry Shop and also 2 sampler packs of the Doggone Sauces.
Because they're doggone good.
They are doggone good. And where do all the post-tax profits go to, Smitty?
You tell me, because you got the whole hookup.
All the post-tax, well, not necessarily just dogs. All the post-tax profits go to animal rescue charities.
That's it.
So that's a cause you can sink your teeth into, literally.
It's a win-win for everybody.
Absolutely. Check out our Facebook page, facebook.com/Keith Hanson Show. And if you'd like to send us an email, you can reach me at keithontheair.com.
Or shoot me an email at Smitty on 96krock@gmail.com.
239-277-9600 or 775-9600. The phone lines are open. We've got a great show coming up for you today. I have a reporter named Jenna from the Naples Daily News. We're going to be talking about Rick Scott's decision to, with a stroke of a pen, put 14,000 people in the Sunshine State out of work. So we're going to be bringing her on in a little bit. And I also have Karen Kopp. Karen is the owner of two video casino adult arcades. One is located in Naples, one is located in Fort Myers.
Is that like adult entertainment?
It is adult entertainment.
There you go. I'm an adult. I like entertainment.
Well, what kind of?
Whatever she's into, I'm into.
Wow. I don't think it involves a poll.
What are you trying to say?
I don't think it involves a poll.
She just said it was adult entertainment.
I think it's more along the lines
video
of
entertainment.
Oh, that's what I was going to say. Video entertainment, of course.
No, and not that place on Airport Road in Naples, Smitty.
Not the one where you crank the little wheel and you look in one eye?
No. Drop the quarter and you get a 15 minutes or 15-second show.
Things have evolved.
No,
I got
absolutely
you.
not. Gotcha. So we're going to be talking about Rick's decision to put about 14,000 people out of work and how this affects the local economy, because hopefully you figured out at this point that I am a champion of small business and limited government. And it seems as though that government is just going amok these days. They're doing whatever it is that they want to do, and you know what? To hell with what the constituents think. To hell with what the people that actually put us in office think, because now we're in a position of power, so now we're going to do whatever it is that we want to do. And when I had the show on the old station, I used to talk a lot about the motivation behind putting people out of work. There is have you ever heard of Cloward and Piven?
I have.
We talked a little bit about it yesterday. And it's interesting because under Obama, we have record numbers of people that are on food stamps.
It wouldn't have anything to do with the controlled house of the GOP or anything, or the obstructionists that you guys are doing, or the way you guys are railing everybody. Okay, I'll let you go.
Okay.
Continue.
We're not going to shift the argument.
All right, let's continue.
We're going to talk about the facts, which is today we have an unprecedented number of people that are on food stamps.
Achtung.
We have... Settle down. We have an unprecedented number of people on public assistance. Is there actually a goal with this? Do you think it's possible that maybe somebody in our government, people in our government, controlling people in our government, actually want people in the system? Well, there is a concept that was first proposed in 1966. There were two Columbia University economists and sociologists, Richard Cloward and Frances Fox Piven. And Frances Fox Piven still rears... Richard is dead, I'm sure, roasting in the bowels of hell today. But Frances Fox Piven is still showing her face. But what they basically did was they developed a system that was designed to collapse the American economy from the inside out. And what it does is it's dependent upon mass numbers of people being dependent on the system, dependent on the government. So if we have mass numbers of people on food stamps and mass numbers of people on welfare and mass numbers of people on Medicaid, then eventually what will happen is the system will implode. It can't support its own weight. The system implodes. And then guess what? Now we can institute a European-style socialist economy. And remember, folks, that the free market system and the United States of America is the crown jewel for socialists and statists and progressives. They want it to fail because they would like nothing more than to be able to waggle their finger in the faces of conservatives, in the faces of free market capitalists and say, see, we told you your system was flawed. But one of the reasons why liberals and statists hate the free market system, absolutely hate it, is because it is proof positive that economic systems and political systems work best when there's limited government intervention. You're in business, right? You work for a business.
Sure,
you're not in business.
Absolutely.
Okay.
It's a small business, and I understand that.
Who tells you what to charge for your business? Or what to charge for your service?
The market will bear what,
so does the government,
anybody...
Right, so does the government come in and tell you what you can charge for your services?
No, but they certainly tell us what taxes we owe.
Right, but we're not going to shift that argument right now. We're going to talk about who determines what you charge for your business?
Let's get back to say who's to blame for the welfare. You're trying to blame the poor people who have less already. Let's make it even harder for them now. Let's make it even tougher, more difficult, burden them more, and ask them to spend more money on what they don't have.
Classic
and it's their fault.
Liberal argument.
It's their fault. It's their fault.
Shift the argument, ignore the facts, and then when all else fails, name call.
The poor blue-collar guy who's struggling for a living, he should work harder. He's already working for minimum wage. Why not cut it in half to $2 an hour?
Okay.
Then they could be even more poor, even more welfare, and it's still his fault. The people that are controlling the Congress that got money, they're the ones to blame, not the blue-collar guy.
Okay. Are we done shifting the argument, ignore the facts, and then name call? And you haven't name called yet.
No, I wouldn't call you. Okay. Pick up a good name, I'll call it to you.
Schleprock.
Okay, Schleprock.
Schleprock.
Listen, Schleprock.
Schleprock. All right. But what is the ultimate goal? The ultimate goal is to get as many people on the system as possible, so that way there it collapses. Because the system is proof positive that a free market system works and that limited government intervention works. Because the free market system determines what your business can charge for its services. You could charge, let's say you're a roofer. I don't know how they charge by the hour, they charge by the project. I don't know. But let's say, for instance, let's say the going rate is $75 an hour. Okay? You could charge $750 an hour, but what's going to happen? You're going to price yourself out of existence. The free market system is going to determine that that price is not correct, because that's not what the market can bear. If you do a sloppy job and develop a bad reputation, is the government going to come in and shut you down? Perhaps, but what's most likely to happen? The free market system is going to shut you down, because word is going to spread that you're a non-reputable business, that you don't provide a good service, that you cheat your customers, and the free market system is going to shut you down. The free market system can police, and can police quite well, without government intervention.
So far, that system that you're talking about is just perfect. It's just perfect, you're telling me.
Absolutely not. There's nothing that isn't flawed. But what the biggest problem is that when people find a way to cheat the system and screw the system...
Like a banker?
There are bankers that screw that. You're not going to get an argument from me there,
Like
Smitty.
Wall Street?
Wall Street screws people.
Like politicians?
Smitty. Like politicians. They screw people. Oh, my God, are we agreeing on something?
Oh, my gosh. It's the poor guy's fault. He did it.
No, it's not the poor guy's fault. But the poor guy is the useful idiot who winds up going out there and listening to the lies that these politicians spin and believing what they do. People want to believe that their politicians are good people. And then what happens? When these people get into office, now they forget about the constituents. They forget about the people that put them in office. Look at what happened in Colorado with this gun ban that they just passed. And we're not going to go into the gun topic heavily, but I want to bring this up.
277-9600-775. Give us a quick call.
John Hickenlooper. All right? The people of Colorado voted. There were 21,000 people that were opposed to that gun bill. There were 769 people that were in favor of it. Yet it gets signed into law. So the politicians don't listen to the constituents. That's the problem.
Well, the majority of people are in favor of some kind of gun law. Let's not get into the gun thing,
okay.
but they are in favor of it. The majority. So you can't say generally the politicians are to blame when most of the people are for some kind of gun regulation, some kind of sensible gun control.
We have to fix the things that are broken first before we start implementing new policies. And there's plenty of things that are broken first that we need to worry about before we start heaping new legislation on, because if the new legislation is not going to fix anything, that's the bottom line. We have to fix what's broken first, and that's it. One thing I do want to mention, unfortunately, Billy is out this week. His father's in the hospital, so he wasn't here. I did ask him to prepare a soundbite from last week, because I had made a comment last week that somebody had called me out on. I had asked you, Smitty. I said, what gives you the right, or what gives you the freedom to say what you're saying free of prosecution and persecution? And I had responded back the Second Amendment. And somebody called me out on that and said, hey, you idiot, you don't know that it's the First Amendment. I want to make a clarification on that. I understand that the First Amendment guarantees the right to free speech. What I was stating was the Second Amendment protects the First Amendment. Because without the Second Amendment giving muscle to the people, the First Amendment would have been struck down a long time ago. So I just wanted to make that clarification.
I'll give you a mulligan. I'll give you a mulligan on that one.
Thank you. But thank you for the listener that had emailed me. Thank you very much for bringing that to my attention.
Absolutely.
277-9600-775-9600. What's on your mind? And St. Pete, if you're out there, I want to hear from you. I gave you a homework assignment last week, buddy.
We had Pete out there. He's a good guy. We have a call actually on line 4. Is it what?
I think that's the. Yeah. Is that our guest?
Yeah. No. Go ahead. Pick it up.
Okay.
Go ahead, caller. What's on your mind?
Oh, hi. This is Jenna Lozako-Forrester with the Naples Daily News.
Oh, hey, Jenna. How are you? You are our first guest. I want to apologize. Our computer instant messaging system is down here, so we don't know who's on what line here. So we're relying on hand signals and everything else. So I apologize for that. But
that's totally okay.
All right. So I'm sorry, Jenna. What is your last name?
It's Bazzacco Forrester.
Bazzacco Forrester. Okay, and you're with
a nice last name, man. How come I can't have a good name like that? Bazzacco Forrester.
What's your last name?
Smitty. Smith.
Yeah. Okay.
That's what I'm saying, man. Bazzacco. That sounds like something out of a movie.
What nationality is that?
I'm Italian, and my husband is German.
Oh, okay. All right, cool.
Bazooka Smith.
Bazooka Smith. Okay. So you work with the Naples Daily News.
Yep. And
you have been following the story about Rick Scott.
I've been up in Tallahassee doing our State House coverage, and this has been a pretty big story, at least for the first part of the session this year.
Okay. Let's get started with this. Give us a little bit of background on what's going on right now. Rick Scott, he signed a law, he passed a bill that essentially put 14,000 people out of work in the video gaming adult casino industry.
Mm-hmm. So what happened was last month there was announced this multi-agency investigation that led to the arrest of 57 people. The investigation was into Allied Veterans of the World, which ran internet cafes across the state. Those internet cafes were associated with the group that were all shut down. And it sort of prompted this look into cafes. The investigation also led to the resignation of Jennifer Carroll, the state's lieutenant governor. She did some consulting work for the group a couple years back. She hasn't been charged with anything, and she isn't believed to be under investigation. But she was interviewed by law enforcement officers, and following the interview, she stepped down from office to sort of step back and get the attention off the administration because of this. From there was a lot of outcry in the next day or so from lawmakers that state needed to look at internet cafes and shutting them down. Mm-hmm. And within a couple of days, the first bill was passed out of committee that got the full ball rolling, and that was last month, March.
Okay.
Yeah.
The resignation of Jennifer Carroll seemed to have been mired in a lot of controversy. Can you expand on that a little bit? I know there's certain things that you can talk about and certain things that you can't talk about. So, just for the benefit, I just want to mention that just for the benefit of our listeners, not that you're trying to be evasive at all, but because there are certain things, obviously, because you are working for a newspaper, there's certain things that you cannot disclose, and I understand that. But what this controversy that's surrounding Jennifer Carroll and her abrupt resignation, what is that predicated on?
So Jennifer Carroll did some consulting work. She had a public relations firm and had a contract with Allied Veterans who was under investigation in 2009 and 2010 to do some work for them. She was in the state legislature at the time, so she was interviewed by law enforcement officers and about her work with them. And like I said, she isn't under investigation, but she stepped down pretty quickly after her interviews. And she's done a few interviews, and she said she stepped down so that not to cast a bad light on the administration, and so that work can continue to go on up here in Tallahassee.
Okay. One thing I do want to put out there, because we're going to be coming up on a commercial break here real quick. Can you stick around for coming into our next segment?
Yeah, no problem.
Okay, and I actually have somebody in studio, Karen Kopp, who I know that you've worked with in the past. You've spoken with her. So I want to get the two of you on together to have more of an interactive dialogue. And I also want to invite, if anybody out there is listening who works for one of these internet cafes and has been affected by this, I want you to give us a call, 277-9600 or 775-9600. Before we go into commercial break, I want to open up the phone lines because we have a 4-pack of sauces. I'm sorry, actually a 3-pack of sauces from our sponsor, Doggone Sauce. We have the pineapple honey, We have the chipotle and we have the honey rum. And if you're watching live on video, I'm holding up the actually the 4-pack. It just excludes the barbecue sauce. So caller number 6 right now at 277-9600 or 775-9600. You're going to score a 3-pack of Doggone Sauces, courtesy of our HD video sponsor, Doggone Sauces at doggonesauce.com. You're listening to the Keith Hanson Show on 96 K-Rock. We'll be right back after this.
One small step for man.
One giant pile of attitude for everyone. 96 K-Rock. Zito and Garrett.
Here's our guest, Jim Brewer, right here on Zito and Garrett.
You know they got Motley Crue playing in Vegas.
You guys run ahead!
Hey dudes, Tommy Lee, we're gonna hope you win out there in the blackjack. Don't forget, we got a Motley Cruise.
We're going out on a Motley Cruise! All right!
Zito and Garrett on 96 K-Rock.
As Thomas Jefferson so eloquently stated in our Declaration of Independence, we hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. For nearly 2 decades, Safety Signal Systems has been protecting individuals and companies throughout the Southeast, and now they introduce Safety Net, the fastest, most reliable method to transmit wireless fire alarm signals. When disaster strikes, every second counts. If you're currently relying on telephone lines, the signal could take 30 seconds or more to reach its destination if the phone line hasn't already been destroyed in the fire. Safety Net can transmit that signal in as little as 2 seconds. Learn more by calling Safety Signal Systems Incorporated at 415-0601. That's 415-0601. Don't wait until it's too late. Protect your family, your possessions, and yourself with the Safety Net wireless alarm system from Safety Signal Systems Incorporated. Benjamin Franklin once said, "They that give up essential liberty to obtain a little temporary safety deserve neither liberty nor safety." For nearly 2 decades, Safety Signal Systems has been protecting individuals and companies throughout the Southeast, and now they introduce Safety Net, the fastest, most reliable method to transmit wireless fire alarm signals. If you're currently relying on telephone lines, the signal could take 30 seconds or more to reach its destination if the phone line hasn't already been destroyed in the fire. Safety Net can transmit that signal in as little as 2 seconds. Customers also save an average of $1,000 per year per monitored fire alarm system with the Safety Net radio from Safety Signal Systems, liberating clients from high telephone line charges while providing the security they deserve. Safety Net fire alarm radio from Safety Signal Systems. Learn more by calling 415-0601 or visiting safetysignalsystems.com. Safety Signal Systems Incorporated, 415-0601. License EF742.
Will these unexpected bills ever end?
Do you have bills that can't wait? Need cash now? Bring your firearms to Pine Ridge Pawn for a fast cash loan. Pine Ridge Pawn offers collateral loans on all types of firearms. Pine Ridge Pawn is a fully licensed FFL firearms dealer. Whether you're looking to buy, sell, transfer, or trade, Pine Ridge Pawn offers a wide selection of rifles, shotguns, pistols, and revolvers. Looking to obtain your concealed weapons permit? Pine Ridge Pawn offers convenient weekend CCW classes. Visit PineRidgePawn.com for a wide selection of new firearms that ship overnight with a lifetime warranty. Pine Ridge Pawn. We pay you more and treat you better. Se habla español. Pine Ridge Pawn and Jewelry. Visit us at 2033 Pine Ridge Road in Naples or online at PineRidgePawn.com.
May 2nd at Germain Arena, 96 K-Rock presents One Giant Night of Comedy featuring Larry the Cable Guy.
The doctor says to this fella, "You got bad news and worse news." He says, "Oh, what's the bad news?" He said, "You got 24 hours to live." He says, "Well, what's worse news? I forgot to call you yesterday."
And Billy and Ball. Keep listening to win your way into the show. For more information, visit 96krock.com.
From Absolute Law, Wise Guys Comedy Club, Fabritech Screen Enclosures, and 96 K-Rock.
All right, welcome back to the Keith Hanson Show, 277-9600 or 775-9600. Let your voice be heard. I do apologize, folks. We're having some technical issues with some of our rejoiners here, so we're kind of going back to old school. But stick with us, and we'll have everything up and running here shortly. I want to extend the congratulations to Paul from Cape Coral. Paul picked up a 3-pack of hot sauces from our sponsor, Doggone Sauces.
Yeah, he's my hero.
Yeah, I understand Paul has some history.
Paul loves me, man. You kidding me?
Cool. Excellent. There was a wonderful compliment that had been paid.
It was.
So.
As it was.
I'm sorry?
No.
Oh, okay. I thought we had a caller. Again, we apologize, folks, because we're kind of going off of hand signals and talking to each other in the station here. All right. Before we go back to Jenna from the Naples Daily News, I want to get Karen Kopp on. Karen is a local business professional, and she owns 2 adult gaming arcades, one in Fort Myers and one in Naples, isn't it?
Correct.
Karen Kopp, welcome to the Keith Hanson Show.
Hi, Keith.
I can't talk today. I'm sorry. We're just all discombobulated, so it's a free-for-all here. So.
Tell us more about this adult entertainment. I'm all interested.
Yeah, you really picked Smitty's interest here with this.
I'd like to describe the difference between myself and an internet cafe.
Okay.
The adult gaming arcades have been around in Lee County, well, in Florida, for about 30 years. We've been in operation.
Mm-hmm.
It takes a substantial amount of money to open up an adult gaming arcade. Probably $250,000 you can open one up because you have to pay for the machines.
30 years is a long time.
Long time. You need a minimum 50 machines. Now, to open up an internet cafe, you can probably open one for less than $50,000. This is why over the past 4 years, 1,000 of them have cropped up. They operated through a loophole, a sweepstakes loophole, which enabled them to pay out in cash.
Nice. I like cash.
We do not pay out in cash. In the adult gaming arcade, we run with skill machines, and we pay out in gift cards. We have followed every letter of the law. We come under the Chuck E. Cheese law, same as a children's arcade. They go in, they play the skee ball, they win the tickets, they cash them in for spider rings.
Nice.
We operate the same way.
You give spider rings out too?
However, they don't like the spider rings, so we pay out in gift cards.
You had me at spider rings, man.
Now, most of your clientele are elderly, correct?
Most of my clientele are, you would not call the active retiree. Okay.
Why is Rick picking on them? Why is Rick picking on them, man?
He's not picking on them. He's
taking away their moment to sit around with Grace and hang out with Louie, and they're smoking cigarettes. They're playing some arcades.
Can you smoke in the arcades?
No, you cannot smoke. Let me tell you the message that Florida is sending out with this.
Buzzkill already.
Smitty, relax.
Florida is saying that if you are an active retiree, please come to Florida. We have a lot to offer you. If you are past the active stage, if you can no longer play tennis, golf, go biking, do not come to Florida because we no longer have anything to offer you except vegging in your recliner at home.
And clogging up 41.
Exactly. Well,
at the Blue Plate Special.
Yeah.
Well, most of them, another reason they come to me is most of them don't get around so well.
Sure.
They cannot go to the pari-mutuel places, to the casinos, because they can't walk from the parking lot to the building.
Air conditioned.
I'm a local business. They park right in front of my door. They come in. We feed them. Everything. They pay for nothing when they come in my doors. They're going to come in with $20 and they're going to spend all day eating, drinking, hanging out with their friends. They're not doing that at the casinos. We are not a casino.
See, Rick's watching out for their diet. That's what he's doing.
He's watching out for them, all
right.
Yeah,
big government. What type of gift? I mean, when you say you do it on a gift card, what type of gift cards do you give away?
We have $100 visas, which cannot be cashed for cash. They can only purchase merchandise with it, and they're good anywhere in the world. We have visas, Walmart, Publix, Carrabba's, Olive Gardens, wherever you shop, gas cards, whatever you need. In other words, if you came in and you won a jackpot from me, and you said, Karen, I saw this piece of furniture at one of the stores, I'd go out and get you a gift certificate for it, so you can go purchase your piece of furniture.
Okay.
With the gift
Let me
card.
ask you a question. Is there any way somebody can take a club like this and say, we're going to charge you like a VIP club, like the Moose, and say for $20 or $10 a year, we're going to have our own club now, and now we can circumvent that problem that you're looking at with Rick Scott?
Senator Thrasher made sure that did not happen because he also shut down all the VFWs and American Legions, because that's how they got most of their revenue, was from their gaming machines. They are no longer allowed to have them anymore.
Ooh, man, the VFW.
Yes.
That's stepping on some big toes there.
Yes.
And the VFW didn't have enough special interest poll to...
The whole problem is nobody, not any of the senators on the panel, not Chairman Richter, not Elizabeth Benequisto, who didn't want to know anything about what we did. Nobody could make the distinction between us and an internet cafe. And we got caught up in the whole thing. What they should have done was they should have said, look, you guys have been around for 30 years. We're going to put a moratorium on it. We don't want any more, but we're going to leave you alone. And we're going to shut down the internet cafes. But they didn't. They lumped us all together and shut us all down.
Okay, I want to go back to Jenna Bizzacco-Forster from the Naples Daily News. Jenna, you still on the line with us?
Yep.
Okay,
Yep.
Have you been listening to this?
Yeah, I have.
Okay. Was there any type of opposition that was presented here before or during the discussion phase of this bill?
Yeah, there were actually a lot of concerns at the Senate committee meeting and some community meetings, and also on the floor when it came up for discussion, that this would have the ban would have sweeping consequences, that it could result in folks like Karen's business being shut down, and even maybe Chuck E. Cheese's and bowling alleys not being able to operate because of some of the provisions that were in there. One of them is the gift card. You're no longer allowed to give out gift cards or a cash equivalent is what they're calling them. Mm-hmm. For sweepstakes, for prizes, you have to give out merchandise, and I think there's a dollar limit now on it. I think it's something like 75 cents is the value. And there also has to now be a certain number of games have to be coin operated. Okay. So it has the potential to knock out a lot of businesses that may not have been meant to be targeted by the ban.
So are there businesses that are still yet to be affected? Excuse me. I'm sure there would be offended too, but I know Karen's offended. But are there businesses that have yet to be affected, or is it the businesses that are going to be affected have already been affected as a result of this bill passing?
It's a little unclear. The lawmakers have said that the intention is not to affect businesses like Chuck E. Cheese, like the bowling alley, or arcade games at Walt Disney. But there is some interpretation. Some people believe that the law can be interpreted in a way in which those businesses will be affected.
Can I say something? Do you know how when you walk into a Denny's or one of those places and you see the crane machine with the stuffed animals in them, they're going to become illegal because they take dollar bills?
Well, they are dangerous, I just want to say.
They are now illegal.
Those claw machines had me, man. I was hooked on them for a while.
Were you hooked on this?
Oh yeah.
Claw machines.
I had a couple boxes of change, and go in and a couple quarters. I'm like, I gotta get that. I gotta get the bunny rabbit. You know what I mean?
Well, you know when you're trying to win it for the heart of a woman, you can understand.
That's right. See what I mean?
Absolutely.
It's addicting.
So, really quickly, folks, I want to go to line 2. We've got a caller on line 2. Welcome to the Keith Hanson Show.
Excuse me?
Welcome to the Keith Hanson Show.
Oh, yes. Hi, my name is Anthony.
Hey, Anthony, how are you?
And I'd like to comment on the arcade situation.
Yes, sir.
I've been in the industry for over 40 years, coin-operated amusement industry, and I'm past president of our state association 2 times.
Okay.
And I'd just like to express that there's a lot more going on here than just passing a law.
Okay, like this is the place to let it out, brother. What's on your mind?
Well, we have a situation. Back in 1984, I helped write the legislation for this law. It's been in existence for 30 years. Since that time, we have operated legally. Everyone seemed to get along. It was an accommodation so that there would be no problems. Unfortunately, there's been a situation in the last few years with a very big push to get the pari-mutuels involved. Now, the pari-mutuels have a big stake in this. And if you ask Senator Richter how much money he received, or the legislators, I think you'd be a little surprised to realize it's several $100,000.
I got to tell you, Anthony, I've got Karen Kopp here, who is also in your business as well, and she looks like a bobblehead. She is just bobbing her head in agreement with everything that you are saying right now.
Well, I have dealt with Danny Atkins from the pari-mutuel industry. I think he's one of the owners in Racino on the East Coast. He's a powerhouse. He has a checkbook the size of Senator Richter's bank vault.
Must be nice to be an elected official and be fat with cash. I don't remember seeing salaries and political bonuses that that equate what some of these people are worth. It kind of makes you wonder where this money's coming from.
Now you know why they run for office.
I do know why they run for office. Absolutely.
Well, the senators have been getting money in their pockets for the past 6 years by the pari-mutuels to make us go away. They're trying to make way for all the pari-mutuel places to get slot machines, and the only way to do that, they feel that we are taking business away from them, and we're not. They don't know us.
So where did this originate from? Who was the main guy?
Pari-mutuels.
Who was the main guy though that said, "Hey, let's stop this"?
I did see him when I was up at the Senate committee meeting. I do not remember his name. He is the CEO of the pari-mutuel organization.
Here's the pecking order, Karen. You have at the top of the money pile is Danny Atkins representing the pari-mutuels. Danny Atkins is very close to Senator Thrasher, who is the chairman of the Senate Rules Committee.
Yes.
As chairman, I would equate him or parallel him to Empower King Kong with a club. What he says goes, period. And Senator Richter is in line to be Senate President. In order to become Senate President, you'd better have Senator Thrasher on your side.
Exactly.
The money trail goes to about a year and a half ago. I received a call that said we have just okayed 3 casinos in Florida: Tampa, Jacksonville, Miami, with 2 possible floaters. Consider yourself out of business. I'm in the bowling business. I'm in the arcade business. And I said, well, how can that be? He said, get your troops together because they're coming after you. They have just made a deal, and they're getting a ton of money from the pari-mutuels.
Exactly.
Jenna,
so they're on the take.
Exactly.
It definitely sounds that way. Jenna, what have you seen up in Tallahassee that would substantiate this?
We haven't had a chance yet to look at contributions, but there has been at least some concern that senators who are involved in this were receiving contributions from from people involved in the industry. There was a report, I think, the Associated Press put out last week that something like $100,000 was given to local politicians from, I think it may have just been lobbyists for internet cafes, but I'm not 100% sure.
So the bottom line is that there's special interest money that's being thrown to grease the wheels to make sure that certain decisions are made in favor of one industry over another.
That's
correct. I wouldn't say that. Political contributions are part of
always
just running a campaign.
It's become par for the course, unfortunately. Hey, Anthony, before we let you go, I just want to is any aspect of your business being affected directly by this?
Oh, absolutely. Our bowling industry.
Okay.
My partner is he's heavily involved in the bowling industry, and I'm involved in one of his centers.
Okay.
And I do a lot of work just trying to give some expertise to the industry. And we will, I'll tell you how bad it is. We don't know what to turn on and what to turn off.
What do you stand to lose in terms of, number one, revenue? What do your employees stand to lose, either in terms of hours or being laid off entirely? And just out of curiosity, in terms of state taxes, what would you say that your tax payments to the state based upon revenues from these sources would total?
I couldn't give you a...
I pay over $100,000 a year in department revenue taxes. Over $100,000 a year is me alone. Now, multiply that by 200, because there's 200 arcades in this state. Technically, I viewed the state of Florida as a 25% partner in my business, because that's what I paid them, 25%. I paid over $100,000 a year just in sales tax.
And you ask, why would Rick Scott shut that down? That doesn't make sense unless somebody's giving even more.
If they left us alone and they opened up their pari-mutuel places that they want to open in their casinos, I promise you it would not affect their bottom line whatsoever if they left us alone.
Anthony, I just wanted to go back to give you a chance to answer that question. I'm sorry.
Well, the total for the state, we're talking about between 14 to 20,000 jobs. The total in tax revenues to the state are tens and tens of millions. The net effect after the trickle down, we will lose far more than that, because We deal with people outside the state, distributors, wholesalers, manufacturers, software people who will leave the state of Florida because of what's going on. Additionally, I put the deal together to build the Seminole Casino in Immokalee back in early 1991. And at that time, it was the same situation. We had the pari-mutuels come after us. They wanted to be a part of it. Namely, Danny Atkins put a check on the table, said, you name the number, we will sign it. And don't worry about the politicians. They're in our pocket.
Nice.
Those were his words in 1991.
God bless America. Anthony,
I'm just stunned to hear that.
Well,
a politician in somebody's pocket? I'm stunned. No.
Jeez, they've been in my pocket for a long time.
Wait, you hired Rick Scott for this. He's supposed to straighten this all out.
And I'll tell you what an aide to the governor said 2 days ago, and I won't reveal any names, to an associate of mine. This is bad law. Bad law is a term in the law which says it stinks.
Mm-hmm.
Why would Rick Scott Garrett do this to the people? It's all about money.
And just for the record,
that's what politics is about.
Just for the record, we'd love to invite Mr. Governor Rick Scott come on to straighten this out in case we're getting the subject wrong. You know, give him a chance to rebut.
Absolutely, and that's all we wanted to do. We just wanted to have a sit down.
Sure.
I left a message for Senator Richter. I said, how many people from the Arcade Alliance have you invited to your office to discuss the facts of the matter? How many people from the Boeing industry? How many people from the street route industry, the jukebox guy and the pinball guy? How many manufacturers did you bring in? How many of those people did you sit down in front of you and ask their opinions? You certainly learned a lot from Danny Atkins, who was up in Tallahassee prior to our going to Tallahassee after this bill was passed, and he spent a week or two walking the halls, paying off everybody, Democrat, Republican, and these aren't sour grapes. These are facts.
Yeah.
They gave $125,000 donations per clip. In other words, each time they made a donation, and you can look back. I just received communication about that.
I am so in the wrong business right now.
The state's for sale. The state's for sale.
I'd like to announce my candidacy for something.
Me too. I'll be your vice president.
And one last thing, and I'll let you go, because this thing's gotten me so aggravated about the unfairness of it all. Next year, at the next session of the legislature, guess who is going to introduce a bill that would allow the very games that are in our senior arcades, and you can spot those senior arcades, they try to disguise themselves by bleaching their hair white and carrying an oxygen bottle behind them or going in a wheelchair. They think they're fooling somebody, but we know better.
Mm-hmm.
Senator Thrasher will introduce a bill to put the very same type of operation into the pari-mutuels, dog tracks, horse tracks, high-lie. I thought they were bad games. They were evil games. And guess
they're evil for you,
yeah,
not
they're
for
evil
them.
for you, but not for somebody else.
Senator Richter will review that, being the head of the review committee on gaming.
Well, Anthony, first of all, I want to thank you for your call, and I want to assure you that this is not the only time that we're going to be talking about this. We're going to follow this because I think there's a lot of people out there that deserve answers. And I, for one, listen, I don't care what side of the fence you're on, Democrat, Republican, there is no room in our republic for crony capitalism and crony politics. And when people start getting paid off, that's BS. That's wrong. That's not the way our system is supposed to run. When one group looks out for another to the exclusion of somebody else, that's not free market capitalism. That's crony capitalism and crony politics, and that's not to be tolerated in a free constitutional republic society. Anthony, thank you so much for your call. God bless, brother.
Thank you,
Keep the faith.
Thank you.
Very informative individual, man.
I want to go very quickly to line one. Welcome to the Keith Hanson Show.
Hello.
How are you, sir?
I'm just peachy, and yourself?
Any better, I'd be guilty.
You'd be governor.
Good one. What's your name, sir?
My name is Lance.
Lance, welcome. What's on your mind?
Well, I'm part of Karen's family, and to start off, I've been in construction for over 20 years, and when the economy went kaput, I basically had to find work elsewhere, and Karen was kind enough to offer me a position. She's a great woman. She goes all out for all the employees, and even more so for her customers that come in. And we don't really look at them as customers. We look at them as an extended family.
Mm-hmm.
And the part that's very depressing is basically what our governor has basically done. My personal views of him stem back to the days when he was part of Columbia Care, and he didn't give a crap whether or not he put that company out of business. If one was to recall, they were part of Cape Coral Hospital. He took them for millions there. So my thought is, in his opinion, why would he care not to take away millions from the state of Florida to pad his pocket even more, plus the monies that, like everybody's been stating, that they've been given in order to, push this bill through. Another thing is, a lot of people say these elderly that come down here don't have a mind of their own, but the people keep forgetting that these are the people that put them in office. These should be the same people that take them back out of office. There should be an investigation done thoroughly into the background of this Allied money scandal, and I got a feeling that Mr. Scott is still part of the issue, and the reason why he had the lieutenant governor step down so he can brush it away is because somewhere in the background he is part of it. And
I'm going to shut that door before it went any further.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. And, it's sad that, you get a kid down here that gets in trouble for shoplifting. Okay, he goes to jail for, a couple of years, pays his time. You get somebody with money that steals millions of dollars and nothing's done.
Mm-hmm. That's the way it's been going for years.
Where's our justice system there?
Here's my question for the state. They're going to shut me down out of business. I've got to do something. I'm a widowed single mother who's got a son in college. I need to provide a roof over my head. Are they going to provide me with any assistance to open up another business? Are they going to help me get going now that they've literally taken every penny I have away because Senator Thrasher decided I'm illegal? By the way, Lance is the father of the family. The entire family's been put out of work. The mother, the father, and their son all worked for me. That family is now completely out of work with no income whatsoever.
How many people are out of work directly because of this with you?
With me, 15.
What is the average? Are these full-time or part-time?
Full-time employees.
What's the average pay?
The average pay is about $14 an hour.
Oh!
So 15 people.
That's fantastic.
Full-time jobs gone.
Yes.
That's inexcusable. And we're supposed to be building people up. This
encourage
Charlie Chris 2016. Charlie Chris.
I encourage every single one of my employees to file for unemployment to jack the rates up to show Governor Scott what he's done.
Anybody, even if you're a Democrat, would look at that and say, let's not do this. It's not a good call. It's a knee-jerk reaction. And like he said, something's going on. There's something fishy, man. A dog doesn't bark at a parked car.
The bottom line
was the bottom of it.
The bottom line was they needed to do something about the internet cafes. They were operating illegal. They were operating through the loophole. They really needed to do something. I even was visited by the Billy family in Naples. They came into my arcade and they said, "Oh, we're not after you. You don't pay in cash. You pay." They weren't even concerned with me.
Right.
They really needed to do something about the internet cafes. However, I agree. Shut them down. They're pulling this scam, $300 million in 4 years.
Right.
Come on.
Right.
They could have moratoriumed the arcades, left us alone, and left everybody happy.
Lance, thank you very much for your call. I appreciate it. And our chat system is back up and running, which means I can now find out who's on what. Scott on line 2. Welcome to the Keith Hanson Show.
How you doing, man? I've never listened to your show before, and my girlfriend and I are hearing this morning, and I'd just like to say there's two things you can't do. Well, one, you can't use common sense, and you can't be simple with these people.
No.
They don't expect you to use common sense, and what's going on is really you can see where somebody's getting their pockets lined and don't care about anybody else's pockets.
Well, absolutely, and this is the thing, and this is what we want to cast the light on. Sunlight is the best disinfectant agent, and that's what we want to do. All right.
Yeah. Well,
if there's people that are out there that are greasing the system and greasing politicians, and special interest money is sloshing around, and industries are being affected, and people's livelihoods and their ability to make a living is being destroyed because backdoor deals and money changing hands, then it needs to be exposed because it's wrong, it's illegal.
It speaks for itself. You can see that this is totally obvious that if they're willing to take jobs away but complain about the unemployment rate and everything, but then there's jobs to be given and somebody's willing to give somebody these jobs. I mean, I took a big pay cut in the kind of work I'm doing now, and this is really ridiculous that anybody expects somebody to keep on when they're raising prices on other things.
I agree. Listen, Scott, thank you very much for your call. I appreciate it, and keep the faith.
Well, you should have been warned when you voted for this guy. You knew the history, you knew the background, you knew what was going on, you knew the Columbia fraud, you knew all that. Okay?
They're all crooks. Whether it's a D
this
or
is
an
the worst
R,
of the worst.
All...
This is the worst of the worst.
Oh, let's talk about.
Okay?
Let's not talk about Charlie Chris, the flip flopper.
Let's talk
we can get
Charlie.
into that later on.
Charlie's 2016.
Yeah, whatever.
Okay.
Please don't mention his name in here.
When I was up at the Senate hearing committee,
I support you, Charlie.
Senator Maria Sachs was the only one who was literally begging Chairman Richter and Senator Thrasher to remove the arcades from this bill.
And they
wouldn't hear anything about it because he had been given too much money at this point by the paramutuals to go back on his word to them.
Too much money sloshing around. All right, folks, we're going to take a quick commercial break. Before we do this, I want to give you an opportunity to win a $25 gift certificate to Mickelson's Pastry Shop in Naples. $25 worth of and $25, believe me, at this place, it goes a long way. Some great stuff. So caller number 9 at 775-9600 or 277-9600. You're going to score a $25 gift certificate to Mickelson's Pastry Shop, courtesy of Mickelson's Pastry Shop and the Keith Hanson Show. We'll be right back after this. Don't go away.
Lex and Terry, 6 to 10 p.m.
I didn't think it mattered if you were gay in soccer.
I didn't either. I assumed you were.
Yeah, I mean, that was my thing. Oh, you're gay.
Yeah, what if Tom Brady just one day went, I can't do this anymore. My God. Yeah, the stress. I can't look at this bitch one more day.
I'd be moving to Massachusetts. We'd be getting married.
Lex and Terry on 96 K-Rock. Talk that rocks.
A crime is committed against an individual every 30 seconds. Some are devastating and leave you traumatized. Protecting yourself is vital for survival. Know the law and the tactics necessary to survive a violent attack. Protect yourself and your family. On-Site Tactical Training Institute has certified law enforcement instructors who can teach you the proper way to legally carry a concealed firearm. We offer training programs for the Florida Concealed Weapons Permit, as well as tactical firearms handling and shooting programs for handguns, shotguns, and defensive rifle. Our reality-based firearms training program features live action scenarios to help you shorten your reaction time and improve your tactical skills. Get trained today the right way. Call On-Site Tactical Institute right now at 239-247-5585 or visit us on the web at www.ostti.com. On-Site Tactical Training Institute. Get trained. Be prepared. Feel confident. And win. Protect yourself against the bad guy.
Attention boat owners. Maximize your boat's fuel efficiency and performance by having your vessel's hull, propellers, and running gear cleaned the right way the first time around. Diversified Diving Services of Southwest Florida, the region's leading commercial diving services provider, offers hull cleaning and maintenance packages for vessels ranging in size from 25 feet to 100 feet and up. Trust us to be your underwater specialists. Diversified Diving Services. Give us a call today at 239-628-3483 or find us on the web at diversified-diving.com. Somewhere in America, a heart attack occurs once every 20 seconds. 75% of all heart attacks occur inside the home. Statistics show that performing CPR can triple a victim's chances of survival while waiting for paramedics to arrive. For American Heart Association CPR, first aid, and AED training, turn to CPR Works for your initial training and biannual certifications. Call CPR Works today at 888-277-8254 or visit them on the web at cprworksfl.com. That's cprworksfl.com. Group rates and corporate discounts apply. CPR Works and you. Together, we can keep the beat pumping.
From the huge studios, WRXK, Bonita Springs, Naples, Fort Myers, Beasley Broadcast Group Station, 96 K-Rock, and 96KRock.com. Talk that rocks.
Now, more of the Keith Hanson Show featuring Smitty.
I want you to get up now. I want all of you to get up out of your chairs. I want you to get up right now and go to the window,
open it and stick your head out and yell, I'm as mad as hell, and I'm not going to take this anymore!
Call 277 or 775-9600. This is the Keith Hanson Show, featuring Smitty on 96 K-Rock.
And welcome back to the Keith Hanson Show. I am Keith Hanson with my co-host Smitty.
Welcome aboard.
We're having a pretty good first hour here, aren't we?
Extremely interesting.
Yeah, it is. It's amazing. We were talking here during the break about the economic impact of this decision. I mean, it's not just 14,000 people that are out of work. It's the trickle-down effect. It's how many businesses get affected by these people who are now out of work and who aren't spending their money.
And the rates that the lady was saying, $14 an hour, she was had hired employees to work for her, is a good middle wage. You know, it's a good rate.
It's respectable.
It's respectable. It's not a $7-8 an hour job, which is tough to make ends meet.
Your range is, you said, between 13 and 15 an hour.
Right.
So
13
14
and 15
is the
an hour.
average.
Yes.
And you had mentioned that you actually have an entire family that works for you.
Mother, father, and son.
So an entire family. They live under the same roof, I'm
Yes.
assuming.
They all live under the same roof, and they're all out of work.
Now they're out of work because of just like that.
And the father, who was actually on the phone, Lance, he switched careers. He went from construction, electrical construction, into the gaming arcade and took to it like a fish to water.
Right.
That's it just blows my mind. You know, it's reminiscent of the Hostess cupcake situation there, where the union shut that down. And, it's crazy.
Let's take a call on line 2.
We've got Robert on line 2, who is the winner of the $25 gift certificate to Mickelson's Pastry Shop. Robert, welcome to the Keith Hanson Show. Congratulations.
Well, thank you very much, and I'm a fat man. I love pastry.
Oh, well, then you're going to love this, brother. I'll tell you, $25 goes a long way at this place, and it's a kind of a hard place to find. The address it's on Business Lane in Naples, which is off of
1068 Business Lane.
But they do some amazing cakes, some amazing.
Myers, right?
No, it's in Naples. It's in North Naples, so it's actually if you're up on Bonito Beach Road, it's actually not that far from Bonito Beach Road. It's pretty easy commute from Bonito Beach Road. But trust me, if you're a pastry lover like I am, you're going to love this place.
Oh, I love pastry. I appreciate it, guys. You guys are great.
Thank you. Well, we appreciate you listening, and congratulations. Enjoy those pastries, and tell Paul and Elizabeth that the Keith Hanson Show says hi.
Hey, do I got to go pick it up at the station, or is it going to be mailed?
You can come right down during business hours. Come right up to the front desk, and they'll take care of you right there. They'll be waiting for you.
Oh, you guys are great. Thanks, man.
My pleasure. Enjoy it. God bless.
You too.
Thank you. 277-9600, 775-9600. If you've been affected by this decision to shut down these facilities, these adult gaming arcades, please give us a call and let us know how this is going to affect you. What's your backup plan? What's your contingency plan? If you have any additional information about what's going on and who's being paid off, if you're Rick Scott and you're listening to the show, or if you're Rick's family down in Naples, pick up the phone, tell them to get on the blower and give us a call, because we'd certainly like to know what the motivation is. This was supposed to be a administration that was predicated on jobs and job creation and increasing the bottom line here in Florida, and it certainly looks like we're doing a great job of doing just the opposite. So there are a lot of people out there who would like some answers, and you can certainly use us as a sounding board.
What's your backup plan? Do you have a plan B?
Yes, we do have a plan B. Our plan B is a little stretched out because, unfortunately, we can't get out of our lease in Fort Myers. We're not sure if we can get out of the lease, so we're going to have to reinvent the Vegas experience into something. So we're working with zoning now, but we're going to be opening 2 restaurants. Okay. We've already hired our wonderful chef. Chef Adam Peters from Naples is coming on board as our executive chef. We're opening a takeout barbecue place called The Cookout on Summerlin. And
can I make a suggestion? You guys keep doggone sauces on your table.
I will. I absolutely will.
All right.
Because they're doggone good.
I like the
they
cause.
are doggone good.
I like the cause. Because I have a lot of them at home myself.
Yeah, okay.
And then we're opening a 10,000 square foot restaurant on Alico and 41 right on the lake.
Really?
Yes. We kind of saw the flavor in the air 6 years ago.
They need one there.
Yes.
They need one there because there is nothing there's a Case Cafe, which is a small little diner, and then the other one is at the Golf Course Town Center. But other than that, there's nothing really in between.
There used to be a decent not pastry shop, but a pizza shop right there.
Yeah.
Some New York pizza place.
Closed
that
up,
place closed.
Yeah, it's nothing between there.
We kind of saw the writing on the wall 6 years ago with them trying to work to shut the arcades down. So we made the strides. We purchased the old Alico Quarry and to put a restaurant there, and we're eventually going to retrain our staff. That's why we hired Chef Adams already. He's going to start working with some of our girls to train them as cooks, and they'll come with us into the restaurant business.
Excellent. I want to go to line 1. I've got Madeline. Madeline, welcome to the Keith Hanson Show. What's on your mind?
I'm a senior citizen who moved here 9 years ago, and I'm calling in reference to this law that was rushed through to throw the baby out with the dirty water.
Mm-hmm.
All of my dear friends that I've made since I moved from up north, I met every single one of them at the arcade. I don't think, that, this governor and this state is really looking out for us. There was a letter in the news press today that said how fast they went to pass this law. And they still haven't addressed things that actually cost people lives, like texting while driving, for instance.
Mm-hmm.
It seems to me that it's obvious that people are being paid off for this, and it's like shooting yourself in the foot, because the seniors, and to a person, because I took a little survey at the 3 that I frequented, and every single person said they wouldn't vote for Governor Scott again. So a big base of his, which is white Republican seniors, is going to be gone. I mean, it's just so short-sighted and so evil. Here, the Republican Party professes to want less government, and they just move right in and take away. I mean, are we supposed to go to bars at night or discos, or what's the deal? No, we're going to sit home and have nothing to do. And we are not stupid. In fact, we're really, really very smart, and we know how the system works. We've been in it for 50 years.
Maybe we can put it on the voting ballot box and actually vote for it.
Absolutely. There should
not
be
a bad
something
idea.
done, and before it's too late, because, if we wait actually till election, or if we wait until the gentleman that talked about what's going to happen around election time, as obvious as it is, it's still not going to help us. And here we are left in the middle of quasi-tourist time and retirees. I mean, how stupid.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody knows where a lot of money is spent. And these gift cards that you get help so many different industries. You shop more at the places, for instance, like Publix or Walmart or even restaurants.
It generates a lot more work and money than just what you see on the surface.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, God, yes.
What happens next? Bingo? Is bingo next? They're going to eliminate bingo?
Well, if the parimutuels and the dog tracks want to start having bingo there, then it's entirely possible.
Bingo's next.
Parlors will be gone.
That's correct.
I guess the older folks better
It's all
gather
about
around,
what the
man.
parimutuels want.
Better gather around.
Parimutuels run this state.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, I mean, he who has the money to be able to grease the wheels is the one that's
Say it so, not bingo. Oh, my God.
And, bingo is now automated as well.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't, in most of these bingo halls, they don't roll that cage with balls in it. It's all done by computer.
Mm-hmm.
But they're not touching them.
Yeah.
Interesting.
It's, there are people that I know that laugh when you live in the state of Florida, the land of the hanging chads, or the inability to vote last election. And now Governor Scott is backtracking when he was the one that made early voting so difficult.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
he's just so...
Well, I think we could all agree that no matter what side of the fence that you're on, and we're not going to turn this into a Democrat or Republican issue.
Thanks for calling on, Madeline.
But, Madeline, thank you very much for your call. We appreciate it. The situation is simple, that power corrupts. And suddenly people, I think there's a lot of people that get involved in politics. And I don't know, correct me if I'm wrong, Smitty, you've dealt with a lot of politicians, as have I. I think a lot of these people campaign on the concept that I'm going to go in there and I'm going to make a difference because I am morally rooted and I have ethics and I am principled. And I'm going to go in there and I'm going to make a difference. Mr. Smith goes to Washington.
Some do, but some also preach to their base, and then they get elected and they get back in office and they do what they feel like doing.
Yeah, and that's the thing. And then once it's either that or once they get in there and suddenly now somebody goes and puts their arm around the shoulder and says, this whole concept that you campaigned on, there's this whole liberty thing and all this. Yeah, that's cute, but listen, let me explain to you how it's really going to work. Do you really think that you, as a freshman senator, are going to come in here and tell us old school guys, how things are going to work? No. You think you're ever going to sit on a committee? It's never going to happen. You either learn how to play ball, or you're going to be buried in some place you don't want to be. Well, and nobody's ever going to hear
even
about
Ron Paul, when he retired, he said, I came up here with the best intention. I wanted to do a change. I wanted to change everything. He said it's impossible. That's what he said. He said it's impossible.
And that's one of the reasons why I personally think that this change in our country has to start locally.
Grassroots.
But a grassroots efforts to change things locally. And then once we start changing locally, school boards and county commissioners and mayoral races and gubernatorial races, that's how we start fixing this. But it's not going to get started. You're not going to be able to start at the top. It's not going to be trickle-down reform.
Are you going to predict that Rick Scott's a one-termer?
I think it's entirely possible that he is.
Ooh.
And I fear the alternative.
Who would that be?
I'm not going to use his name.
Charlie Chris.
All right, I'm going to go to line 1. Actually, we have our guest from last week, Rich Naskak, who is fishing down at the Fort Myers Beach Pier with the Florida Carry Group. Rich, my friend, welcome to the program. How are you?
How you doing, Keith? Hello, Smitty. How are you, buddy?
Hey, Rich, if you don't hook anything, just shoot the fish.
Well, you know what they're doing.
No problem.
You know what they're doing now.
You're playing shooting sound effects in the background.
Now, let me explain what Richard is doing fishing. Florida Carry once a month. There is a statute on Florida books, 790-25-3H, Florida statute, that permits a person, regardless of whether or not they're licensed, to open carry a firearm while they are fishing, camping, hunting, or going to or returning from a lawful fishing, camping, or hunting expedition. So Rich and his friends are down on Fort Myers Beach Pier right now with openly carried firearms. And how many people have been killed or wounded or had their feelings hurt?
Fewer than those who have died in Ted Kennedy's car.
Well, I can tell you, if you think you're safe, Rick Scott will change that real quick, so you just hang on.
Well, we'll see. I mean, he's got to get through the legislature first.
How's it going out there?
Pretty good. We were expecting some rain to come in, but it looks like it's all coming in at the south in Naples. I mean, it's beautiful weather out here. There's a lot of folks out here. A couple of new folks have joined us. Brian is here. Teddy and Andy are here. I mean, we're just having a great time.
Excellent.
And
excellent.
I just pulled in a small hammerhead.
Really?
Yeah.
Grab a couple of pictures. We'll put it up on the Facebook page. Our phone boards are lit up here, Rich. So we're going to let you go. But listen, have a great day. Wear your sunblock and carry on, brother.
Very good. Thanks, Keith. You take care. And Smitty, I love you anyway, buddy.
Thank you, boss. Thank you, boss. He's good. He's a good man. Good man.
That was our friend Rich Naskak. He is the co-executive director of Florida Carry, the largest gun rights lobby group in the state. And if you want to learn more about the amazing work that this group does, www.floridacarry.org. That's Florida spelled out, carry.org. And these guys are up in Tallahassee fighting the fight on a daily basis to preserve, protect, and defend the Second Amendment rights of the citizens of the Sunshine State, and also pursuant to Article 1, Section 8 of the Florida State Constitution, your
impressive.
right to keep and bear arms. So, I want to go to Eric on line 2. Eric, welcome to the Keith Hanson Show. Eric, you still with us?
Yes, I sure am.
Hey, how are you?
I'm doing well.
What's on your mind, sir?
Well, I was just calling in regards to the sweepstakes and the redemption rooms there for the topic of the morning. And I'm just going to kind of add in my 2 cents into the thoughts and what's kind of been developing here for the state of Florida with all of this.
Okay. Do you play there, or do you work there, or?
Actually, I'm a manufacturer for a lot of the components that go out for both systems, and also been a software supplier here to the Florida market as well for the sweepstakes.
Okay. So this definitely affects you, and as we're talking about the trickle-down effect of this doesn't just affect the businesses and the 14,000 employees. Now we're talking
so many
about
people. It's crazy. I can't understand what he was thinking when he was doing it. You've got people repairing these things. You've got people going out servicing them. You've got the people that come there to eat. You've got the food people. You've got the owners. You've got the employees. I mean, this is a crazy thought. I don't know what Scott was thinking when he did this.
Yeah, well, he was. It's not just Scott, though. It's the people that affect. It's the people that he surrounds himself with. So I mean,
one of them's gone. Lieutenant government.
We can blame Rick Scott. We've got a lot of other people.
I was told that even if he didn't sign it, it was going into law.
Wow.
I was told that it did not need his signature, that it was going into law anyway, whether he signed it or not.
That's hard to believe.
That's very true.
That's
as of the 12th, whether he signed or not, it would go into law.
That's scary.
Now, Eric, what kind of financial do you work for the company? Do you own the company? If you don't mind my asking.
All the above.
Okay.
Actually, we're a manufacturer out of Northport, Florida.
Okay.
And we currently build and design different types of cabinetry and interior arrangement and stuff for both the Redemption Room and the sweepstakes internet cafes as well.
So this has a pretty significant impact on your bottom line.
Extremely. Sure. We also have supplied software to many locations throughout the state, and we currently have influence and involvement over the employment of over 40-odd people just inside our organizations, and all of them have already been extremely impacted. Incomes lost, cut in half, and or production supply and everything's down to nil. So it's going to be a huge impact for us going forward. And I've followed this right each step of the way here with what's going on in Florida. Mm-hmm. And it just sickens me as a whole. We see a state that's primarily focused on tourism and accommodating the senior citizens coming down. Mm-hmm. We also see a state that houses probably 6 or 8 different fraternal organizations throughout the state of Florida. All of them are very reliant on this type of program for their incomes and debt. Where in so many ways the salvation for the lack of income that's generated through many of the fraternal organizations through the state of Florida, such as the Elks and the Eagles and Moose, mm-hmm. all of them which rely on the income that produces out of what we, the experience we deliver. And even more so is, they protest the cafes and many of the things we do. We also see Thrasher, who is constantly describing himself as a staunch advocate against gambling. All the while he sits in the background and has been continually making meetings with the pari-mutuels to try to take over this and put it in underneath them.
Can you say hypocrite?
I think there's
hypocrite,
yeah.
hypocrite
for sure. For sure. And unfortunately, I think a lot of this is all very hypocritical. And I hated to see, a black eye come to our industry over what happened with the IIT. But as we examine that, a lot of that is more of a misappropriation of funds into a charity more than it is, running of a gambling syndicate or any of the above.
Mm-hmm.
We've never been able to be proved as a gambling syndicate, and we never will. So they try to grab for straws for anything they can try to discredit us back into the industry. But the one thing unique, you can study every tabloid, and as they try to go out and protest that we promote drug activity and prostitution and all of these bad things, I have never witnessed in hundreds of cafes I've been in any of the above. And to the contrary, as you read in the tabloids, they try to reference even one case in point. The best one I've seen would come out of 2001, where somebody had a gambling habit from a casino. We've never been attributed to taking homes away or paychecks or incomes away from people or destroying people's lives through playing a penny game that delivers a lot of very inexpensive entertainment to the senior communities and the adult communities.
Gateway gambling and Advil. There you go.
I have over 30 years.
It's dangerous, man.
I don't mean to chuckle, but I mean,
dangerous.
I have over 30 years in real casinos, in upper management, in real casinos, okay? What we do is not gambling. I have seen people lose their homes, okay? What we get them out of the house. We don't take their house.
I hear you, man.
Okay.
I
cannot say the same for the
If I was a
pari-mutuels.
senior citizen, I would start a ballot. I would start getting signatures. I would go statewide. I would blow this up. I would put it on the voting booth, and I would jam it down their throat.
That's what needs to.
We've been rallying. We've been hitting the road.
Right.
We've been hitting. I've been in the newspapers when all this started. I was in the newspapers every single day fighting this.
Well, where does somebody get a hold of anybody if they want to, be a part of this? I mean,
is there somebody that's leading some type of charge?
Did they go to stop the vote
or
something? Where do they go?
No, we actually do need an intelligent leader. Okay, there have been kind of half-wit leaders, but they need somebody to bring it all together.
We got a lot of those. We don't need any more half-wits.
Yeah,
all right, Eric, I want to thank you for your call. I appreciate it, and listen, I hope things work out for you. I mean, I hope that this isn't going to have too big of an impact on you and your employees.
They're looking for a leader, so.
But
thank you very much. We're very positive. We've formed associations now, and we have attorney groups that hope to see a little bit of an overturn or a re-review.
Well, do me a favor if you would, please. Go on either our website and use our contact form, or actually, you know what? Here's what I'd like to do. Rick, if you could put him on hold, I'd like to get Andy to get his contact information, and we'll be in touch with you because I want to make sure that we get information about different organizations so that way there are people who are affected by this.
Website.
We'll put it up on the website.
Yeah.
We'll put it up on Facebook page so that way there are people can follow this because I want to make this a project here.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
All right.
And I thank you very much.
Thank you, Eric. Hold on the line, okay?
Sure.
All right. Thank you. I want to go to line 3. Linda has been patiently holding for a while. Linda, welcome to the Keith Hanson Show.
Hi, how are you today?
I'm very well. How are you?
Oh, very good, thank you. I'm just wanting to call in on behalf of Karen in the casino, or the arcade, I should say, and I'm a customer of hers out there, and it's just really horrible what they've done to her. The casino is just a wonderful place to go to. I've met so many good people out there. Her help is just terrific, and it's like she said, it's like family out there, and it's just going to be so badly missed if they're able to do what they want to do. It's terrible, terrible.
Mm-hmm. Well, I agree, and I got to be honest with you. You know, I didn't until I had an opportunity to sit here and have a conversation with everybody. I didn't even stop to think for a moment about the social aspect.
Oh yeah, it's just the social aspect is just unbelievable. You know, over the winter, I've met so many nice people from so many different states, and you know, it is like Karen says. It's elderly people that are out there, and they sit there for hours and play and just have a good time. It's just horrible what they're trying to do. It's just horrible.
I'm sure Linda will agree with me, but my people do not go to bars. Once they've met everybody in their little clubhouse, where are they going to go to meet their own age?
Do you serve alcohol?
No.
There's no alcohol at all?
No.
Really?
No.
Maybe we ought to do that. Everyone with alcohol.
It is a meeting place, and it's like Karen said, it's where family is there. And, you know, I've got to know those girls out there, and those girls are just wonderful, and I just love them to death.
It seems like a real clean operation. Why would they?
Over backwards.
My employees have been with me since I opened my doors 7 years.
Karen does everything she can for the people out there.
Yeah.
She goes aboard. It's not like the Indian casinos or that. You get to know people on a one-to-one basis. It's a meeting place.
Well, I hope that either A, something changes with this, or B, that there's a good alternative.
You haven't heard the end of this. You
No.
haven't.
No, you have not heard the end of this.
No, we'll be
on your side. I'll go with you.
And we'll be working with Karen and with Eric and with everybody else, Anthony, and we will keep people abreast of what's going on and the changes that we've got. So, Linda, thank you very much for patiently holding. We appreciate it. God bless you,
Linda.
and have a great weekend.
Yep.
Miss you.
You're welcome, Karen. Bye.
Okay, very quickly, I want to go to Robert on line 2. Robert, welcome to the Keith Hanson Show. What's on your mind?
Hey, I was just wondering on this internet cafe thing. I wanted to know that as far as the charitable donations, what is the percentage of the charitable donations versus what is the charitable thing, like Lieutenant Governor, former Lieutenant Governor Carroll, salary and lobbying and things like that. That was my major concern with this kind of thing. If they could ever get it around where 30-40% of the proceeds are going to the affected charities, then I'm fine. But if they're talking like, if it's true what they said, $6 million out of $200 billion or whatever, $200 million, I think it's wrong.
Karen, what are your thoughts?
You heard my thoughts at the beginning. The internet cafes were illegal 4 years ago, and they're illegal today. I'm not a pro-internet cafe. I am an adult video arcade. I do not operate under the same laws that they operate under.
And the difference is, of course, you're not paying out in cash.
Exactly. I'm not flaunting the loophole.
And I was asking her opinion on the internet cafes that had the affiliation with Lieutenant Governor and things. What are her thoughts on that? She said she's against that. And how is the law written that would affect her if it affected the other ones that were actually running illegally?
They lumped us all together, honey. They could not make the distinction between me and them, so they put us all together and they shut us all down.
Because it's a game of chance or a game of skill we're talking about.
I'm a game of skill. Look, I can take out all of my machines and I could put in skee ball machines and have them roll a ball down the lane and hit the 50 cup, but half of my customers can't stand there long enough to roll the ball. So I give them a game that they can relate to.
But like I said, that's when I say if you're talking a game of skill versus a game of chance, I think the lottery and everything like that, they're being very, very hypocritical when they allow this type of gambling and things like that. But the internet cafes that do not have something like the fake donations to the veterans organizations should be permitted to claim like bingos at churches and things like that. I'm always for that.
Yeah.
If it wasn't anything like that, if it's a game of chance or it's a game of skill and things are rigged, then of course I'm against it.
Well, a game of skill, definitely, but a game of chance, there's a...
Isn't life a game of chance? Come on, man.
You take a chance every time you
That's
walk
right.
out of
You take a game of chance.
No, it was proven in a court of law that my games are games of skill.
Yeah.
Okay, they've actually proved this on the East Coast that they're games of skill. And like I said, I mean, I could put in crane games, I could put in skee balls.
Robert, thank you very much for your call. I appreciate it. Thank you. We have to take a quick commercial break, but I just got to say this. I was standing in line at Circle K this morning, and I'm watching a guy buy lottery tickets, and he's counting out pennies. And I'm thinking, if anything should be looked at critically and castigated, it shouldn't be what you're doing. It should be a system where somebody is so dependent to take a chance on that they're counting pennies out to buy a lottery ticket. That blows me away. All right, folks, we're going to take a quick commercial break. Before we do that, your chance to win a 4-pack of doggone sauces. This is the monster pack. This is I can't say it. Pineapple honey, there we go, chipotle, honey rum, and the smoky sweet barbecue sauce. And that's going to go to caller number 6, 277-9600 or 775-9600. And, of course, that's area code 239. Caller number 6 wins the 4-pack, the dog pack of sauces. You're listening to The Keith Hanson Show. We'll be right back after this.
May 18th at Seminole Casino, Immokalee, 96 K-Rock, and Bubba the Love Sponge bring you Bubba Palooza.
Bubba Palooza.
Featuring a live performance from Ned and the Lone Wolf Band.
We're going all the way down to Immokalee?
This event is free to all Bubba Army K-Rockers.
I mean, what kind of show is this?
Bubba Palooza. Meet the entire show cast. VIP packages will be available. Visit 96krock.com for details. From Bubba the Love Sponge and 96 K-Rock.
Will these unexpected bills ever end?
Do you have bills that can't wait? Need cash now? Bring your firearms to Pine Ridge Pawn for a fast cash loan. Pine Ridge Pawn offers collateral loans on all types of firearms. Pine Ridge Pawn is a fully licensed FFL firearms dealer. Whether you're looking to buy, sell, transfer, or trade, Pine Ridge Pawn offers a wide selection of rifles, shotguns, pistols, and revolvers. Looking to obtain your concealed weapons permit? Pine Ridge Pawn offers convenient weekend CCW classes. Visit PineRidgePawn.com for a wide selection of new firearms that ship overnight with a lifetime warranty. Pine Ridge Pawn. We pay you more and treat you better. Se habla español. Pine Ridge Pawn and Jewelry. Visit us at 2033 Pine Ridge Road in Naples or online at PineRidgePawn.com.
Benjamin Franklin once said, "They that give up essential liberty to obtain a little temporary safety deserve neither liberty nor safety." For nearly 2 decades, Safety Signal Systems has been protecting individuals and companies throughout the Southeast, and now they introduce Safety Net, the fastest, most reliable method to transmit wireless fire alarm signals. If you're currently relying on telephone lines, the signal could take 30 seconds or more to reach its destination if the phone line hasn't already been destroyed in the fire. Safety Net can transmit that signal in as little as 2 seconds. Customers also save an average of $1,000 per year per monitored fire alarm system with the Safety Net radio from Safety Signal Systems, liberating clients from high telephone line charges while providing the security they deserve. Safety Net fire alarm radio from Safety Signal Systems. Learn more by calling 415-0601 or visiting SafetySignalSystems.com. Safety Signal Systems Incorporated, 415-0601. License EF742. As Thomas Jefferson so eloquently stated in our Declaration of Independence, we hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. For nearly 2 decades, Safety Signal Systems has been protecting individuals and companies throughout the Southeast, and now they introduce Safety Net, the fastest, most reliable method to transmit wireless fire alarm signals. When disaster strikes, every second counts. If you're currently relying on telephone lines, the signal could take 30 seconds or more to reach its destination if the phone line hasn't already been destroyed in the fire. Safety Net can transmit that signal in as little as 2 seconds. Learn more by calling Safety Signal Systems Incorporated at 415-0601. That's 415-0601. Don't wait until it's too late. Protect your family, your possessions, and yourself with the Safety Net wireless alarm system from Safety Signal Systems Incorporated.
Now, more of the Keith Hanson Show featuring Smitty.
You want answers? I think I'm entitled.
You want answers?
I want the truth. You can't handle the truth.
Call 277 or 775-9600. This is the Keith Hanson Show featuring Smitty on 96 K-Rock.
And welcome back to the Keith Hanson Show. Phone lines are open, 277-9600 or 775-9600. Give us a call. Let your voice be heard.
If you dare.
Smitty, we got Smitty on a leash today, so
we do.
He's almost sedated. I want to go to line one. I got Robert on line one. He is the winner of the 4-pack of sauces from Doggone Sauce. Robert, welcome to the Keith Hanson Show. Congratulations.
Sweet. Thank you, man. Thank you.
Who do you like better, barbecue sauce or hot sauce?
Hot sauce.
Hot sauce. You're going to love this stuff, man. The honey rum is fantastic, and the pineapple honey is incredible. But they've all got a nice little kick to them, so it's sauce with substance. And
it'll light you up. It'll light you up.
It's good stuff. So your package will be up at the front desk as of tomorrow morning. So swing in, pick it up, and thank you very much for listening to the show. We certainly appreciate your tuning in.
I appreciate it.
All right. Have a great weekend. All right. I just want to go back to Karen here real quick, in closing with this. And you're welcome to stick around for the rest of the show if you'd like, because we got some other good stuff to talk about.
Shenanigans.
Yeah. So we have rap music, which is very, very dear to Smitty's heart here.
Oh, absolutely. So, I'm all about it.
He's all about the thug rap.
Oh man.
So
just representing.
I'm gonna put you on hold for a sec, Karen, because I got Joe on line too. So Joe, welcome to the Keith Hanson Show. What's on your mind?
Hello.
How are you?
Okay. I really don't remember which newsprint I read this in. I think it was Business Daily, News Business Daily. I think it was, but. Isn't the understanding is that all this Chinese money that's supposed to be coming in to fund these huge casinos and on the East Coast and up around the Tampa area, wasn't it understood that if they would come in and spend all these billions of dollars on these casinos, is that they asked the state of Florida if they would shut down all these internet cafes? Did you happen to read that anywhere?
I didn't, but it would make sense, because in doing so, what are we doing? We're eliminating competition. And that's really at the core of crony capitalism. I'm going to go to my politicians, and I'm going to petition them to do the free market's work for me. So they're going to eliminate my competition rather than letting the free market determine who is fit for survival.
Okay. The way I understood the article was that once they came in and got their foothold and started building these ultra gigantic casinos, is that they was going to allow a lot of these internet cafes back into Florida, but of course it'd be under their rule.
Okay. I didn't read about that, but if you have a link to an article or something, if you could send me an email, I'd love to look into it.
I don't know about the Chinese. I know Genting was coming to the East Coast, building that mega resort, and we have one coming out by the Forum on the way to Gateway that's supposed to be opening.
Okay.
I don't believe that they're Chinese. Genting is a Malaysian company, and they were coming to the East Coast.
That's close enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it is. It's a Malaysian company, but the actual money is coming from China.
From China.
That's the way I read the article.
I used to live in Massachusetts, and I'm looking at Western Mass. I still, from time to time, just read the online news services from Western Massachusetts. And right now, I mean, that's every community out in Western Massachusetts, for those of you who are familiar with that area, Springfield and Holyoke and Northampton and Palmer and West Springfield, all these places, everybody's fighting for casinos. And it's amazing how when we get into economic woes, we turn to vices to wind up funding our state. Okay, our state's in a dump, and we have no money, so we're going to increase taxes, and we want to start legalizing and taxing marijuana, and we want to start legalizing and taxing gambling.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
It's pot and
municipal marijuana.
Yeah,
like my uncle used to carry on the flask. He said it was from municipal. Cut the phlegm,
That's the
medicinal.
That's that too.
Oh, boy.
Medicinal.
But this is, it just amazes me how, and who winds up benefiting? Yeah, the state winds up benefiting, but, unfortunately...
And the American Indians lose again, because now they're cutting in the American Indians'
So now you're championing the causes of the
American Indians have always been beaten down.
Don't you know that it's not politically correct to say
the
Indian?
American Indians have always been beaten down.
Don't you mean the Native Americans?
Them too.
Okay. All right. All right, Joe, thank you for your call, brother. We appreciate it.
Okay.
And, oh, my God, we have Pete from St. Pete on line 1. Pete!
Hey, Smitty, how are you?
Hey, my friend, how are you?
What's the matter, Pete? I don't get a hey, how are you?
Yeah, who's that, Keith?
Yeah,
that's Keith.
God bless you. Hey, listen,
Hey, Pete, I got a question.
Life without vice will turn you into a Republican.
What? I'm sorry, I missed that.
Life without vices will turn you into a Republican.
Amen,
Life
brother.
without
Speak
vices
on it.
will turn you into a
Speak on it. Can I get a good Lord Almighty, Mary, St. James, John, Matthew, Luke, Paul?
Did you do your homework assignment, Pete? Did you look up for me what founding document separation of church and state appears in?
I hope it's, well, for one thing, it appears in the Bible. It says, render unto Caesar what is Caesar's, render unto God what is God.
Okay.
And it says freedom of religion in the constitutional.
Right.
In the Constitution.
But what founding document specifically lists or states?
Don't try to hammer Pete. Pete, don't let him give me a hard time, Pete.
Keith, you don't believe in separation of church and state?
Do you understand?
What you nitpicking about?
Okay, well, I'm not going to, first of all, you're not going to back me into a corner with a blanket statement like that. I'm going to ask you again, where in our founding documents does separation of church and state...
This has been argued and discussed by reasonable men for the last 200 years, and everybody concedes, except idiots, that it's a good idea to have separation of church and state.
But what does it mean, though? What does separation of church and state mean?
It means the state doesn't use the taxpayers' money
for influence
to promote one particular religion.
Over another, correct.
What happened Good Friday? That's what happened Good Friday. And, people of all religions, and people like myself, agnostic, we also pay taxes, and it costs the state millions to shut down to promote Good Friday, which happens to be a fairy tale.
Okay, well, here's what you do. Then create an agnostic holiday, and we'll celebrate it.
Everybody does that. There'll be a holiday 7 days a week.
Well, we have that. We have those people. Go up to Palm Beach Boulevard and Martin Luther King and Fort Myers, and you'll find people that are on holiday.
Pete, you're not going to agree with him, Pete. He's hard.
No, that sounds racist anyway. So I don't go.
That's it, Pete.
Well, we're not going to turn that into a racist. It's not an issue of race.
You know how much it costs the state to shut down Friday? It costs us taxpayers millions of dollars to promote this fable of somebody floating up in the sky. Give me a break. Come on, guys.
Pete, you'll change your mind when you're gasping for that last breath of air. When they say, paddles, you're going to go, please forgive me now.
Pete, haven't you ever...
Well,
Pete, I got a question.
I'm going to call for Smitty. Not Jesus.
You think Smitty's going to come
I'm right next to Jesus. That's a good call. I'm right next to Jesus.
Oh, that's blasphemy right there.
Smitty makes more sense than Jesus ever did. You know?
Man.
I never had a...
Wow, I want that on a clip. I want that on a clip.
I never had an opportunity to talk to Jesus.
Well, let me tell you, Pete, God loves you.
He does love you, Pete.
Well, that's good because I have my doubts about God, So let's have some questions.
We all have doubts, Pete.
Hey, listen, at least give us a warning when a tsunami's coming. That's all.
Well, there was an article that came out that ants actually can detect seismic activity days before it occurs. So maybe there's some hope after all. We just have to we just have to learn how to read the body language of the ants.
Yeah.
So
God. I think God is very busy because. Sometimes he misses the beat, But I'll have some questions when I get up there. I'm not shy, and I might even start a union. Who knows?
That's my man. That's my man. Power to the people.
Ain't afraid of nobody. Yeah.
Pete, you're
to the people, even the dead people.
You're very calm today. That's nice to hear.
Well, I decided I was driving last week to a golf tournament, and I decided, I'm going to slow down and maybe I can have a reasonable discussion with these Romney losers.
You must be talking about somebody else, not me, obviously.
And just for the record, Pete, you know,
Romney has limited intelligence. It's a medical fact.
Well, who was the better choice?
A rock.
You know, trust me. If there was a paper towel tube on the, there was a paper towel tube on there, I would have voted.
Doing much better. The economy is doing much better, and you know,
it is. The economy is doing better.
Oh, well, let me say one thing about Republicans. I loved Eisenhower, Nixon, and Reagan. They were moderate Republicans, but the Republican Party today has been hijacked by religious extremists and the 1% rich, and it's a different party. It's not.
You know something?
Before the Republican president, they came from the middle class.
You're going to be shocked. You're going to be shocked to hear me say this, Pete, but I agree with you that the Republican Party's been co-opted, and that's part of the problem.
Well, you guys are going to lose every election unless you get back to with self-made men from the middle class.
Hillary in 2016.
Oh dear God,
Hillary.
No, just shut his
I think
mic
it's
off.
time for a new party.
You can run a mule against the Republicans and win if they keep that same.
You know something? You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. And the problem is that both parties have been co-opted. The Republicans have been co-opted, and certainly the Democrats have been co-opted. And that's, you know,
well,
that's.
I know, but we don't talk. You know, we don't talk nonsense. You know, we don't. If you're going to be a politician, you can't go around insulting women and things like that. You know, you gotta leave people alone.
Well, we're going to, you know, you just mentioned insulting women, and we're going to take a commercial break here. When we come back, we're going to, and Pete, by the way, thank you very much for your call. It's good to hear you kind of calm and relaxed, and anytime you're welcome on the show. When we come back.
Over, man.
I'm sorry?
Okay. I'm coming over.
All right. Come on down.
Rich, real quick, you know, they were talking to the Republican Party, and they asked them, who did they fear the most after the election? It was John Huntsman, they said they feared the most.
Yeah, I heard that. Right. That's interesting. Listen, I mean, Romney certainly had his opportunities.
Obama said he feared John Huntsman was the more intelligent guy, the more middle ground guy, and he said of all the people that they didn't want to go against, John Huntsman was the guy.
I had heard that.
That's crazy.
And again, I am a registered Republican, but I definitely don't think that Romney was the best choice. But unfortunately, we get into the situation where
you were right.
No, clearly I was, and it was shocking when we saw what the election results were.
Wait till next 2016. You think that was shocking? Wait till you see the next one.
I hope we make it that far. Folks, we're going to take a quick commercial break, but before we do, last opportunity to pick up a $25 gift certificate to Mickelson's Pastry Shop in North Naples. $25 goes a long way at Mickelson's.
They're located at 1068 Business Lane in Naples, Florida. The best gourmet pastries and confectionaries there.
Did I say caller 6 or caller 9?
I don't know. Make it up now.
Caller 9. Caller number 9 at 277-9600 or 775-9600. $25 gift certificate to Mickelson's Pastry Shop. You're listening to The Keith Hanson Show with Smitty. We'll be right back after this.
Weekends. Picture me. Tiny bikini, straps undone, ice cold beer in hand, and blaring the best damn classic rock, period. Every weekend on 96K Rock, we shut up and rock. Led Zeppelin, AC/DC, ZZ Top, Lynyrd Skynyrd, Aerosmith, GNR, Bon Jovi. If it makes my ass shake and makes my beer taste better, we play it. All attitude, all the time. 96K Rock weekends, rock.
Somewhere in America, a heart attack occurs once every 20 seconds. 75% of all heart attacks occur inside the home. Statistics show that performing CPR can triple a victim's chances of survival while waiting for paramedics to arrive. For American Heart Association CPR, first aid, and AED training, turn to CPR Works for your initial training and biannual certifications. Call CPR Works today at 888-277-8254 or visit them on the web at cprworksfl.com. That's cprworksfl.com. Group rates and corporate discounts apply. CPR Works and you. Together, we can keep the beat pumping. Attention boat owners, maximize your boat's fuel efficiency and performance by having your vessel's hull, propellers, and running gear cleaned the right way the first time around. Diversified Diving Services of Southwest Florida, the region's leading commercial diving services provider, offers hull cleaning and maintenance packages for vessels ranging in size from 25 feet to 100 feet and up. Trust us to be your underwater specialists. Diversified Diving Services. Give us a call today at 239-628-3483 or find us on the web at diversified-diving.com.
A crime is committed against an individual every 30 seconds. Some are devastating and leave you traumatized. Protecting yourself is vital for survival. Know the law and the tactics necessary to survive a violent attack. Protect yourself and your family. On-Site Tactical Training Institute has certified law enforcement instructors who can teach you the proper way to legally carry a concealed firearm. We offer training programs for the Florida Concealed Weapons Permit, as well as tactical firearms handling and shooting programs for handguns, shotguns, and defensive rifle. Our reality-based firearms training program features live action scenarios to help you shorten your reaction time and improve your tactical skills. Get trained today the right way. Call On-Site Tactical Institute right now at 239-247-5585 or visit us on the web at www.ostti.com. On-Site Tactical Training Institute. Get trained. Be prepared. Feel confident. And win. Protect yourself against the bad guy.
All that's missing is your input.
What in the hell's diversity?
Well, I could be wrong, but I believe diversity is an old wooden ship that was used during the Civil War era.
Call Keith and Smitty at 239-277-9600. This is the Keith Hanson Show, featuring Smitty on 96 K-Rock.
And welcome back to the Keith Hanson Show with Smitty, 277-9600 or 775-9600. Give us a call. Let your voice be heard. And I want to extend a congratulations to Carol from Fort Myers. Carol is the winner of a $25 gift certificate to Mickelson's Pastry Shop. And Carol was unable to stay on the line. However, I can guarantee you, Carol, you are going to enjoy these pastries.
Delish.
Some incredible things. And I'm a big fan of the carrot cakes. The carrot cakes. Again, like I said, I was going to bring some in for Smitty, but unfortunately,
you hit them hard last night.
They didn't last long. Believe me, that and a half a gallon of milk, and it was like food coma time. So, Carol, congratulations, and the gift certificate will be ready for you at the front desk as of tomorrow. Well, I'm sorry, Monday. That's right. I'm living in Sunday time right now. Smitty, you talked about the issue with politicians and women, and our previous caller had talked about that as well too.
Yes.
You brought something up to me yesterday that was kind of interesting.
Harvard is inviting Tyga, who is a prominent rapper in the young folks' society of life.
Tyga,
spelled Tyga. Yo, what's up?
So it's phonetically.
That's right. It's phonetically spelled, and apparently there's getting a lot of flack about Tyga.
How come the
and
names...
I don't understand why the flack. I just don't understand.
So Tyga. By the way, how come it's Pitbull and Tyga? How come it's not the Sugar Hill Gang? Is it possible that there's just too many syllables in there to?
I don't know. The Sugar Hill Gang sounds like something like Archie's or something. It doesn't scare you.
It's not thuggish enough.
Sure, it's not thuggish enough.
Karen, what do you think is worse, Tyga or the Sugar Hill Gang? What sounds more gangsta?
Tyga.
Well, so Tyga is evidently invited, or has been invited, to Harvard University, an institute of higher learning, to do what, Smitty?
Well, he's going to, I'm sure, perform, but I'm sure he'll perform. And
what is he going to perform?
He's going to show his social abilities, his artistic views, and share them with the higher learners of society.
So the higher learners of society are going to listen to Tyga discuss the plight of being a young black male in urban America.
Yeah, he's from Compton, California.
Oh, is he?
Oh, yeah, he's from Compton.
Oh, so from Eazy-E's old...
No, he's from the hard edge, the hard side of town, where life's been beating him down.
West Coast, East Coast.
The man's been beating him down.
Word to Big Bird kind of stuff.
You happen to do some homework, and you got some lyrics here.
Well, Smitty and I were sitting in...
Starbucks
last night, and I forgot the girl's name. I think it was Stephanie or Carolyn or something. But anyway, I have to give a shout out to her because on her laptop she was able to introduce me to
Tyga.
The world of Tyga, which
Not
I didn't even know
with
existed.
Winnie the Pooh Tyga.
I guess evidently, yeah, no. I've been living in a
Tiger.
in a fantasy world here. But let me share with you some of Tyga's, for lack of a better term, lyrics.
He's a no G.
Sick Rick, do you have your finger on that button? Because I may slip here. Okay, he's extending the index finger to go on the dump button. Let me start with this. The song, for lack of a better term, is called Faded. And evidently Faded is a reference to when you're stoned out of your mind on blunts and purple drink or the cough syrup drink that
Faded? I thought it was a haircut. They asked me for a faded.
Well, that was the old that was the Sugar Hill Gang definition, but that's not
right.
It's not the new Tigga.
Archie's and the lollipops. Go
ahead.
ahead.
So, do you want this read a la Caucasian?
No,
or do you want me to put
no. Give it your all, bro. Give it your all.
All right, I'm spitting an ill flow here.
Okay.
All right. Young Nino, blank a blank in a pea coat. Carlito, Scarface, Al Pacino, BB through, Pimp C rip through, I goes deep in that blank, Dan Marino. Do you want me to keep going?
Yo, Bo, you speak on it, brother.
Going on, blank is up, N-word stomping on my chucks. Yeah, I make it reindeer because I'm all about my bucks. Use the blank up in the front, blank up in her blank, and I put it in her blank. Hole in one, putt, putt. Super McNasty, why you lovin' when the blank call me daddy?
See what I mean? You can learn how to spell blank.
Now, I can't even go on any further. Yeah, boy. What is wrong with our society that somebody like... First of all, what is he saying?
He says a lot of blanks.
For the love of God, what is he trying to say? I had an art teacher.
Blanks.
I had an art teacher that used to say,
blank?
Okay, study a painting or study something and ask yourself one question. What is the artist trying to say?
He's trying to say, look, if you don't like it, get the blank out of here. That's what he's trying to say.
I'm flummoxed. What does this person... At what point
You're a
in
young
our society...
person. I gotta know.
Yeah,
277-9600 or 775.
Do you spend money on this garbage?
9600.
Do you spend money on this garbage? Have you paid a dime? Okay, listen, you know what? Go on Napster and download this crap. If you want to listen to it, download it for free. You know, there's... I don't know what to say.
Well, first of all, if you like him or don't like him, he still deserves the right to speak out. He has the right to speak out.
Nobody is denying his right to speak out.
And he can go to Harvard, and Harvard alone should hang their hat on it and say, we invited this guy. Harvard that invited John F. Kennedy. Harvard that invited Winston Churchill. Harvard that invited such astute people like this now has Tigga to add to that list of people.
So is this, I mean, is this the natural progression? We go from JFK and Eisenhower to Tigga? Talking about... I mean, see, this is the problem. The media in this country holds this up as something that young people should be. You want to know why we have problems with drugs in our society? Why we have problems with crime in our society? Why we have women that are treated like objects in our society? It's because degenerates like this are extolled as good people.
Heroes.
And you're giving money to these people. And this is obscene. I mean, it's obscenity. That's all it is. There's nothing legitimate. This is not a legitimate expression of anything other than I want to go and be as shocking as I possibly can be. I want to constantly outdo the previous degenerate who was spewing filth. I can spew filth better. That's what it's become.
Well, Harvard is a school that's very high esteemed. It's like Yale, Harvard. They're Rhodes Scholar schools. So obviously there's some value, or they wouldn't just open their door and let somebody come in. There's something that they see that maybe you and I don't see, or anybody sees.
Now, I guess one question would be, who actually invited? Is this a school-sanctioned event, or was this just a
The Harvard Commission and College Events Board announced Monday they'd retain Tigga despite the opposition. There's some 2,000 people that.
So there were actually some people with intelligence.
Yeah, well, 2,000 is not a lot, but they're saying, hey, we don't want that kind of stuff. But this is what controversy has always been about: to voice the opposition, to let them speak, to have free speech, whether you like it or don't like it. It's what makes America great.
Right, and nobody's denying him the ability to say whatever's on his mind.
Yeah,
but when we turn around and give somebody
that platform,
that type of platform, I think it's an abomination. There's really no reason for this. And talking about rappers here, there's been some talk about Jay-Z. And Jay-Z and Beyonce seem to have it in their mind that they're America's second family. We have Obama and Muchel as the You liked that one, didn't you? Muchel.
That was cute.
Yeah. Well, it's appropriate. But you have Obama and Muchel as the first family, and of course
he took a vacation. He went to Cuba, man.
Have you seen the pictures, folks? I would encourage you to go on Google and look up the pictures of Jay-Z walking around the streets of Havana like a pimp. Because it's glamorous. It's glamorous to be a pimp. It's glamorous to identify yourself with a person who sexually and through drugs subjugates and makes money off of women. That's exactly
Jay-Z
what we
doesn't
want to
do that. Jay-Z's just a rapper.
He refers to himself as a pimp because that's what's glorified in the rap community.
He's trying to sell some records, dog. Trying to be an entrepreneur.
Well, why not be an entrepreneur? Why not be a business person? Why do you have to be somebody who glorifies hooking women on drugs and exploiting them sexually for money?
Because it sells records. That's why.
And who are the degenerates that are consuming this garbage?
I don't, but I'm saying Tiga.
Good one from right field.
That's right.
Well, Jay-Z actually went to...
He got a lot of money, man. He got a lot of influence.
So should that influence allow him to be able to go to a country where there are strict limitations on visitations? What legitimate reason did he have for going to Harvard? Or, excuse me, to Harvard, I'm sorry. For going to Cuba.
Maybe he was just trying to spread the artistic wealth that he has, to maybe share some of his rap over there.
I think there's a lot of things that the people of Cuba need.
To bridge the gap between the cultures.
Before they worry about
That's what I think
cultural
he was trying
consumption.
To do.
But, there's a lot of people that have questioned, a lot of people in Washington have questioned the legitimacy of this program. The Department of Treasury actually has to approve for diplomatic or educational reasons.
Educational, there you go.
What was the education?
To bridge the cultural differences between the two.
Because it's interesting. He goes on and he didn't take him long to come back from Cuba, and now he's got a rap about it.
Who wouldn't want to rap about that? I would.
Well, here's your homework assignment.
You should write a rap song.
You should write a rap song.
About Cuba?
Whatever you want to.
All right.
Write a rap song about Mickelson's Pastry Shop.
Okay. Done.
So, I done turned Havana into Atlanta. Boy from the hood, I got White House clearance. Politicians never did blank for me except lie to me, distort history. They want to give me jail time and a fine. Fine, let me commit a real crime. And then his quote-unquote rap goes on to say that Obama had actually told him to kind of calm it down in his rap. Hear the freedom in my speech. Obama said, chill, you gonna get me impeached. You don't need this blank anyway. Chill with me on the beach.
Yeah.
Word to Big Bird.
Word up.
So the question here is, did Obama manage to, and of course Jay Carney, I wish I had the sound clip. Jay Carney did a great job of lying his way through this one again. Jay Carney, of course, the White House press secretary.
Sure.
Did a great job of lying his way through this. No, absolutely. There was no White House involvement whatsoever in Jay-Z's visa and his permission to go over to...
well, it wasn't. If you said there wasn't, there wasn't.
Oh, because everything that comes out of that administration...
You don't think Jay-Z's got enough money to buy himself into Cuba? You think the White House is going to even worry about him?
In order to legally travel to Cuba, you have to have a visa. You have to have permission from the Department of Treasury and from OFAC, the Office of Foreign Asset Control.
And somebody signed off on it.
Somebody signed off on it, but you mean when we are talking about political intervention and financial intervention and corruption, do you think that somebody didn't grease some wheels to make sure that Jay-Z and Beyonce could celebrate their 5th anniversary so that he could walk around drinking cognac and Cuban cigars like he's a player?
Is it surprised that anybody with money gets better taken care of than the people that don't? Come on, you and I couldn't go to Cuba, but if we had that kind of money, that kind of influence, that kind of clout, it doesn't matter. We're going to pull some strings, and what's going to happen? And it doesn't matter whether we're rappers or just Donald Trump. Donald Trump can go to Cuba.
I agree with you that happens, but
so don't pick on the rapper just because he's over in Cuba drinking cognac and smoking Cubans because you like cigars. You couldn't have one.
I can get my Cubans from Switzerland any day. I wish I could get that company as a sponsor. But no, it's wrong. It's wrong because unless there's a legitimate reason, and you know as well as I do that there were special favors that were called in, and you should see Smitty. He's sitting back here with this smug smirk on his face, like it is the most self-righteous work I've ever seen.
I could tell you that you're just upset because anything that comes out of the Obama administration, you're against. I don't care who it was. If Donald Trump went to Cuba, you'd be all for it. You'd be like, oh, Donald Trump's going to show him how to do entrepreneurism. He's going to show you how to spend the money. He's going to be all this great stuff. But as soon as Obama has somebody come over there, now all of a sudden it's bad. It's a bad thing.
I want to go to Chris on line 1. Chris, welcome to the Keith Hanson Show. What's on your mind?
I wanted to talk to him about this whole Cuba situation.
Yes.
if you guys did about 2 seconds worth of research, you'd find out anybody from America can get into Cuba through any other country, just about in the world.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I'm well aware of that. I'm well aware of that. You can go up to Montreal. Here's how you do it. You go up to Montreal. You fly out of Dorval Airport, and when you go through customs in Havana, you have a $50 bill and a piece of paper sticking out of your passport. The customs official takes the $50 bill and he puts the Cuban passport stamp on the blank piece of paper and not your passport book.
You're doing it the hard way.
Go to Dominican Republic, they'll take you over on a boat.
You go to Bahamas, Dominican, and anywhere you want to go and get into Cuba.
See,
okay. But what?
Go north to go back south.
But what legitimate reason does he have, and why is it being splashed all over the media?
Because he's a celebrity.
Right.
So celebrities get
goes there once a month easily, and never have you ever heard his name.
So celebrities should get special treatment just because they're celebrities and because they're frequent guests of the White House.
Oh, why should he get penalized when there's a million other people out there doing the same thing?
That's right.
Don't flaunt it, and don't have the Department of Treasury give
I would flaunt it too if I went to Cuba. What are they going to do to me?
Well, they can seize your passport and they can fine you heavily. I mean, for starters. But of course, again, if you're one of Obama's protected,
I don't think they're going to roll the dice on that. It's typical political BS.
Right.
But the bottom line is that.
Like it is,
but the bottom line is that as long as we're a friend of this administration, we don't have to worry about any penalties. Chris, thank you very much for the call. I want to go to Bob on line 2.
I'm with you, Chris.
Bob, welcome to the Keith Hanson Show.
Hey, how you doing?
Fantastic.
I've been to Cuba myself several times. Like you said, you go to the Dominican Republic and you fly there, you take a boat there, and I would suggest that by the end of the Obama administration, that we're going to have normalized or semi-normalized relationship with Cuba anyway.
Mm-hmm.
You might as well get on the first grade, you might as well get in there, and you might as well take advantage of all the economic wealth that's going to come out of Cuba after so many years of the embargo.
Oh, absolutely. And I think once the communist regime there falls, it's going to be, I know a lot of them.
Not even regime, I'll talk because we deal with China, we deal with North Korea, we gave them the light nuclear reactors and things like that. So it's just a bogus thing that they're in their backyard, and that's why this whole thing came about.
Maybe we can trade North Korea, give them to China if we beat them up real bad, and then we'll just take Cuba. We'll be an even trade up.
Yeah, man, have Puerto Rico and Cuba be sister states.
Right.
Something like that.
That's right.
Well, they've got good food, they've got good coffee, and they've got.
We won't have to get Social Security. Anybody that's swim across the street.
And they've got great food, they've got great coffee, and they've got great cigars and some great rum too.
Good-looking girls
and some good-looking women. So,
like I said, normalize relationships and get this crap over with.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
We look foolish when we do things like this.
I hear you, my
friend.
Bob,
we gotta get going here, but thanks for the call.
Thanks
Appreciate
for the call, Bob.
All right, folks, we are wrapping up another episode of the Keith Hanson Show. We thank you so much for tuning in. Tune in next week, 10 a.m. to 12. We'll be tackling some of the tough issues here again. We're going to be talking about homeschooling. We're also going to be talking about drug legalization. That was something that was on our plate for today. Unfortunately, we just didn't have a lot of time. I want to thank my guest, Jenna, from the Naples Daily News, and also Karen Kopp. Karen, I hope everything works out for you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Folks, God bless. Have a great week. Tune in next week, 10 a.m., the Keith Hanson Show with Smitty on 96 K-Rock.